From Hershey, Pennsylvania, we welcome you all to ECW, and we really kick things off here tonight with the monster, Abyss. It was last week on ECW when that man right there came up short in one-on-one competition against the Warmachine Rhino for the ECW Championship. But he's kicking off the night here tonight on ECW, and he looks to rebound.
He is the monster, Abyss.
Last week it was thanks to the interference of the sick, sadistic, evil stepbrother of Abyss, the man known as Judas Mesias, and of course the sinister minister, Father James Mitchell, the father of Abyss. They both made their intentions well known when they ended up distracting Abyss, giving Rhino the opening for a gore through not only a door but also a Rhino driver as well, costing Abyss the matchup and further assaulting him afterwards. We will see Rhino in action later on tonight in tonight's main event, but we kick things off here with Abyss in the opening matchup, and he immediately just clotheslined the head of Dominik Mysterio right off into the second row. This is Dom's ECW debut, and well, what a way debut against this man! Abyss, simply put, not happy. The show last week ended in complete chaos. The sinister minister, Father James Mitchell, and Judas Mesias laying Abyss down. And well, I called it last week, ECW has just turned into hell on earth now that the rest of Abyss's evil sadistic family is here on ECW. James Mitchell and Judas Mesias, God wonder, probably watching this matchup wherever the hell they are, with just great interest. No! Dom able to get the garbage can that Abyss drew in, smacks him across the head of it, and now Dom here looking to gain some momentum, and oh, missile dropkick. Taking down Abyss right there, not form across the face, shoots the half here, no, oh, only one. Well, Dom getting some offense in here. He's going to have to keep the offense going, though. Going to have to maintain pressure. Go with the full court press. Foot splash, no! Was dropping the dime, similar to his father, Rey Mysterio Jr. Well, Abyss saw that coming out. Side backbreaker right there. And now off the ropes comes the big monster. No, just a big-time splash as well. Abyss coming up short last week in the ECW Championship Open Challenge against the Warmachine Rhino. Rhino will have another one in tonight's main event. Who will be the man that answers that challenge? We don't know, but we shall see. The Abyss looking to rebound, and what a better way to rebound than just, well, doing what he's doing right now, and that is completely destroying dirty Dominik Mysterio. Well, it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, really, but I digress. And up! Just shoulder thrust into the gut of Dom. Hard landing on the outside for Dominik Mysterio. There's now Abyss here. Gonna manhandle Dom like he's nothing. Passing up in the power slam position. I know, just gonna drop him face first onto the ring apron. That's the hardest part of the ring, as everyone will tell you. And now once again here, Abyss passing in the power slam position and running power slam as well. That's the very thin layer of padding on the outside. No give there. Taking all the air out of Dominik Mysterio. Sends him to the steel guard. And a big boot. Well, if Dom's head didn't fall off from that clothesline to open things up a couple, 2 minutes ago, surely the head just flew off his shoulders after that big boot. And now Abyss just stalking his prey here. God wonder. Probably just savoring this, really. And sidewalk backbreaker. This was laid out by Judas Mesias and Father James Mitchell last week. It was the theme song, the Tintron of Judas Mesias, that distracted Abyss in the first place. That once he turned around, just in complete confusion and distraught, turned around right into a gore. Rhino was able to take advantage. Another gore through the door on the corner. And then a Rhino driver as well. Ended up being it. But it took a lot of Rhino to unload the clip onto Abyss in order to beat him. Just a testament to how tough and powerful the monster is. Case in point, as he continues the offense on Dominik Mysterio. And now here we go, manhandles him once again, that running power slam position. And now just gonna toy around from trying to get him where he wants him here. And now from the powerbomb position. Oh boy, and there we go! All the momentum in the world behind that powerbomb, just driving Dominik Mysterio down. We gotta take a look at this again. Just look at the impact folding, just crushing, completely crushing that trash can like it was just a slap of tinfoil, really. And now Abyss, just big time knee right to the gut, bringing Dominik Mysterio back down. And now, oh boy, this may be it. The Doomsday Trigger has been pulled. Shock treatment backbreaker. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is step 1 in a 2-part process. And Abyss now looking to take his time here and repositioning Dom to get ready for the final step. Off the ropes goes Dom, winds him up and slam him down. The Black Hole Slam. Into cover 2 and 3. It's academic. And the Monster picks up a win to open us up here on ECW. I would say that was close, but then I would be lying. Dom had a moment of hope for a second or two with the missile dropkick, and before that the trash can shot, but besides that this match was 99% Abyss. And well, there you go, the Monster calling out his father and his brother, calling out the sinister minister, Father James Mitchell, and speaking of the devil, he shall appear in this case, because there he is. We saw this man last week, the sinister minister, Father James Mitchell, the evil father of Abyss, staring his son down once again. And oh wait a minute, he has shot the Doomsday Bullet. He has shot the Doomsday Bullet at Abyss. This can't be good because right behind him, there he is. Again, a second week in a row, it's Judas Mesias. A barbed wire baseball bat in hand, and now laying the waste here on Abyss with that barbed wire bat. For a second week in a row here on ECW, the evil family, the wicked evil stepbrother and father of Abyss have assaulted him. They have ambushed him after his matchup. And when we got a shot there a couple seconds ago, Abyss, he got busted open by that barbed wire baseball bat, courtesy of Judas Mesias, and now bringing up a lifeless carcass of Abyss. Father James Mitchell just reached to his pocket. He threw a fireball. He threw a fireball right to the face of his own son. The Doomsday Bullet has been shot yet again as Judas Mesias setting up for it to go to hell. A fireball right into the face of his own son. Is there anything not wicked, not evil enough that the sinister minister, Father James Mitchell, won't do? Throw a fireball into his son's own face. Abyss has been laid out to waste, courtesy of the sinister minister and Judas Mesias. For a second week in a row, Abyss has been brutalized and laid out by his wicked evil family. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back. We are back here live on ECW from Hershey, Pennsylvania, and in tonight's main event, similar to last week, the ECW Championship is on the line. Here's our ECW Champion, the Warmachine Rhino, will hold another open challenge. Last week it was the Monster Abyss, and speaking of Abyss, this is what happened moments ago before we went to commercial break. A fireball being thrown right into the Monster's face, courtesy of his own father, the sinister minister, Father James Mitchell. And then will follow suit shortly afterwards was the spitting of the blood, which was followed by the go to hell courtesy of Judas Mesias. And so with that, well, the challenge that was issued by Abyss after his victory over Dominik Mysterio has now been made official courtesy of ECW GM Paul Lee Dangerously. That's right, next week the Monster Abyss and Judas Mesias go one-on-one. It is a hardcore family war next week on ECW. And of course the sinister minister Father James Mitchell will be in the corner of Judas Mesias. But now, if anything, we gotta move on with the action here. And we move on to our second matchup here tonight. It is time for the ECW Television title to be defended. It was last week in a 5-man hardcore gauntlet where we crowned our ECW TV champion. And both of these two men were in that 5-man hardcore gauntlet. As a matter of fact, they were the final two. Ciampa got eliminated by, well, number 5 entrant Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke becoming TV champion. And that is how we got here. It's a rematch ordered by GM Paul Lee Dangerously, where Ciampa will be first in line for a shot at Shinsuke Nakamura's newly won TV title, and how the Television Championship will usually go here on ECW, with some just rare exceptions every now and then for when the case needs to happen. But it will be Shinsuke Nakamura each and every week defending the TV title against a mystery opponent similar to what Rhino is doing in tonight's main event and what he did last week. But that will be the case for the ECW TV title every week. An open challenge, a mystery opponent, where the TV championship will be defended each and every week. Of course, you know, there will be some outside circumstances that prevent that from happening every now and then, but for the most part, the TV title will be defended weekly, hence the name, TV title. And Shinsuke right there, big forearm shot Safe to say that Shinsuke wins the opening exchange of hammerlocks and waistlocks and headlocks with a forearm shot. However, he's going to miss the high roundhouse. Ciampa able to sweep out the leg. And now Ciampa, last couple weeks, has come up short in title opportunities. He came up short a couple weeks ago at Genesis in the 4-way dance for the ECW Championship. That match, of course, also involved Donovan Dijak, Karrion Kross, and of course our current champion, the Warmachine Rhino. Ciampa was the first one eliminated from that 4-way dance, courtesy of Dijak with a high justice, which is just, you know, that choke slam by Dijak, put him through a table with it, and Ciampa was the first one gone. Ciampa was able to get a measure of revenge last week when he eliminated Dijak in that hardcore gauntlet, but similar to a 4-way dance, you know, couldn't win the big one. It was Shinsuke. So Ciampa here, third straight week of a title opportunity. Oh my god! Just a roundhouse shot to the back of the skull by Shinsuke. Center of the ring, only 2. Every match here in ECW will have Extreme Rules, just feel an element. You know, weapons will be legal if anything. But of course you don't have to use them. So we could have a pure wrestling match. One match, we could have another match where it's just a all-out hardcore war. It really doesn't matter. But no DQs here in ECW. As the Irish whip into the corner goes Shinsuke. No! Big knee strike. Just reversed by Shinsuke. Ciampa looking to load that, potentially knocking out Shinsuke. But no, gets the high angle axe kick right there. And the ECW TV champion looking to retain his title here tonight. Would be a damn shame if he only has a 1-week reign with it. And no! Ciampa playing possum, sweeps out the leg from Shinsuke, taking out the King of Strongstyle space from underneath him. And now, big time knees. Just knee lifts right to the solar plexus. And Ciampa keeping on the offense here. The highly aggressive offense of the Psycho Killer, Tommaso Ciampa. The Sicilian Psycho as well. It's a handful of nicknames that just involve Psycho. And roundhouse once again. Ciampa sees that coming. They'll sweep out the leg. Surrendering here, kick to the gut. And now, wait a minute. Just has Seminole from the necktie. That cutthroat driver of sorts. Into a cover 2 and up. Had only one of the arms necktied. It's not fully a traditional Japanese stranglehold or necktie, but you know, using it to drive him down, and now sidewalk backbreaker. Ciampa third title match in a week. His third title match at Genesis, TV title match last week, and another TV title shot here this week. Can third time be the charm for Psycho Killer Tommaso Ciampa, and sending Shinsuke head first into that announce table covering. Ciampa gonna keep on the offense here on the King of Strongstyle. And no, sweeps out the leg. Does Shinsuke, similar to what Ciampa did earlier. And well, I do believe it's, you know, needs to be said here, 15-minute time limit for matches here, for title matches at least, here in Universe Melt. So title matches and our main event matches, 15-minute time limit, a traditional 10-minute time limit for every other matchup that's not the main event or that's not a title match. Granted, while this is not the main event, this is a ECW TV title match, so we'll be given all of the 15-minute time limit, and here we go! And I don't think we need it. The Project Ciampa, sure, that's it. The Psycho Killer, no! Ciampa almost walking away with the ECW TV title. In the blink of an eye, he hit the Project Ciampa. Shinsuke not sufficiently weakened enough to be down for a 3 count. But yes, 15-minute time limit here in Universe Mode for main event matches and title matches on the weekly TV programs. And will be given up to 30 or even 60 minutes on pay-per-views. But for TV, 10-minute time limit, unless you're a title match or the main event, you get 15. So you gotta maximize your minutes. And gotta be able to put your opponent down within 10 to 15 minutes, depending on what match you're in. So far, these men going back and forth here. Well, case in point, here we go. As they both trade blows. Ciampa with a right, and Shinsuke as well. Both these two men exchanging back and forth strikes here. Center of the ring. Shinsuke calls him to draw. Ciampa answers back. Who will give him first? And Shinsuke the barrage of strikes. Safe to say, the King of Strongstyle wins that one. Well, naturally, when you have the King of Strongstyle nickname, you kind of have to win that striking exchange. Reverse scoop slam, planting the Psycho Killer down. Shinsuke potentially could be looking for it. Could be looking for a Kinshasa. And Ciampa, he's dazed. I don't think he knows where he's at. And Shinsuke Could he be lining up? Here we go. No! Actually, I don't think he was going for a Kinshasa. I think he was going for a single leg drop kick. Oh! Able to duck the line. And now, oh boy, here we go. I think he faked Ciampa out. Oh, he was going for it. He was going for a Kinshasa. But Ciampa able to evade. Sweeping out the leg. I think Ciampa perhaps was going to go for a kick to the gut. That leads into the Angel's Wings, or as he calls it, the fairy tale ending. But no, Shinsuke able to reverse. And now then try this again. Here we go. Kinshasa. Got him with the Bomaye. Into a cover. Shinsuke to retain the TV title here tonight. No, only 2. Went for the Bomaye, that Kinshasa the first time around, which was reversed by Ciampa. A couple seconds later, followed it up with the second attempt, which was able to connect, but it was only 2. Ciampa beginning to work in the corner. Just elbow barrages to the small of the back, and now Ciampa gonna fight out of the corner here. Open hand strikes. Handful of just barrage strikes, and ripcord knee. The Seth Rollins finished that 1 year. Into a cover, and only 2. Of course, Seth Rollins has issues with Raven over on Raw, but that's neither here nor there. This is ECW, so we're going to focus on ECW action. And now, Shinsuke going to shove Ciampa off. This is the roundhouse yet again, and now here we go, bicycle knee by Ciampa. Just windmilling those open hand strikes from all sorts of just directions, rights and left, and now Ciampa discarding the cover for the announce table. Shinsuke's back up, gets the single leg drop kick. Ciampa potentially probably gonna perhaps try and use that announce table. He can, no qualifications here in ECW. But Shinsuke not gonna let that happen. Calling a dazed Ciampa up to his feet, gets the double axe handle. I don't think he got as much of a traditional clean double axe handle connection that you would want to, but still good enough. Gets the knee drop as well to the chest of the Psycho Killer, the Sicilian Shooter, Tommaso Ciampa. Actually, no, the Sicilian Shooter was Lil Guido, Sicilian Psycho. There you go. Different Sicilian nicknames to get them confused from time to time. And Guido is here in ECW with the FBI. Stacks and Tony D'Angelo, the new FBI. Got to have a match here in ECW, but they are on the roster. And Ciampa now going off the rope to help build momentum. Gets the shot in the corner. And Shinsuke immediately getting back up. Oh boy. Shinsuke telling him to hit him harder. Is that really the best you got? And Ciampa gonna try to answer back, and Shinsuke not gonna let him. And Ciampa once again in that corner. Shot to a rib right there by Shinsuke a couple seconds ago, and Ciampa gonna try to fight out of it once again. Both these two men exchanging blows, heading closer and closer to the center of the ring now as the ECW crowd watches on. And no, once again, the shot that just kicked to the ribs. Ciampa able to have the high roundhouse scouted here tonight though. And oh boy, kick to the gut. Here we go. Has him. Fairy tale ending. Plants him down from the Angel's Wings position. He caused out the fairy tale ending. 2 and no. 2 and only 2. The King of Strongstyle. Still ECW TV champion, at least for now, because Ciampa is letting him have it. Ciampa has hit Shinsuke with his 2 best moves, the Fairy Tale Ending and the Project Ciampa, both of which have not put down the King of Strongstyle. And so Ciampa thinking what more else could he possibly do here to win the TV title from the King of Strongstyle. And now from the High Rent District, here we go. Ciampa has Shinsuke, superplex, takes him down center of the ring. What the hell? That's Dijak. That's Donovan Dijak. Well, Dijak got eliminated in last week's in the 5-man hardcore gauntlet for the TV title. He got eliminated by Ciampa. Ciampa getting a semblance of revenge for when Dijak eliminated him in the 4-way dance at Genesis a couple weeks ago. And similar to a 4-way dance at Genesis, there we go. The choke slam through the table. The High Justice choke slam through the table. That's how Dijak eliminated Ciampa in the 4-way dance weeks ago at Genesis. And he just planned him through the table with a High Justice again. Shinsuke, I don't think, staring at Dijak, I don't think he wanted that to happen. He's still going to take advantage. Kick to the gut. Kinshasa. Got him with the Bomaye. Dijak watches on, and Shinsuke, I don't think he wanted it that way. I don't think Shinsuke wanted the interference of Donovan Dijak, but regardless, he's going to take advantage and retain the TV title. Donovan Dijak, the High Justice, through the announce table. He did that weeks ago at Genesis in the 4-way dance to Ciampa. That's how Ciampa was eliminated. Ciampa getting a measure of revenge last week in the 5-way hardcore gauntlet by eliminating Dijak. And we'll hear a week later from Hershey, Pennsylvania, Dijak answering back yet again. There you see, second time in 3 weeks, the High Justice through the table, and it cost Ciampa another title match. I gotta say, I'm awfully confused by the intentions of Dijak. He got eliminated fair and square cleanly by Ciampa in last week's 5-way hardcore gauntlet, and Shinsuke here just, I don't really think he wanted to win that way, and Dijak seems pretty happy. He seems pretty stoked. He cost Ciampa the matchup, and Shinsuke, oh, gets a gut, loading up the bomb, Kinshasa. Dijak has been left laying by the ECW TV champion. The King of Strongstyle did not want to retain his title that way. Shinsuke, caught in the middle of this newfound bad blood, this newfound heat between Dominik Dijak and Tommaso Ciampa, and well, regardless, he came out on top. Beat Ciampa and left Dijak laying. The TV champion Shinsuke Nakamura stands tall, retains the title here tonight, but we gotta go backstage to a franchise, Shane Douglas. And well, franchise, of course, a backstage correspondent. And while it seems like the franchise, he has some major news here. He's proud to announce a major signing to ECW, ladies and gentlemen, it's Obafemi. And yes, indeed, he's a towering presence. He even makes Taz look shorter than usual. Not so sure how smart that is for the franchise, of all people to say, but regardless, well, Obafemi, he has his goals here in ECW. It's simple. It's to dominate. It's to make people fear his name. And as much as he respects the other titles and the brands such as the TV title and the World Tag titles, he doesn't want those. He wants the top prize. He wants the ECW Championship. And of course, franchise, well, he knows more so than anyone what it means to hold the ECW title. He held it 4 times. And well, Oba, he's not impressed. That also means franchise has lost it 4 times. Rest assured, the ruler doesn't lose. When he goes after the ECW title, he will hold it with the iron grip of 10,000 men, and he will rule ECW. It's not a matter of if, but a matter of when. Ladies and gentlemen, Obafemi is here in ECW, and he is here to dominate. We'll be back. We are back here live on ECW, and for some reason the franchise is backstage yet again, and well, that's why. Rod Strong has requested time to speak. And well, key word apparently there is requested. That means he had to ask permission to be on the show, because Paulie Dangerously didn't have Roderick Strong booked for a 2nd week in a row, and at this point, the Messiah the Backbreaker, he's already sick of it. He's been consistently one of the very best professional wrestlers in the world for the past 2 decades. Well, that's true. And the fact that he wasn't in last week's TV title match or the ECW 4-way dance at Genesis, or even on the show tonight, is a travesty of justice, and sooner or later, if Rod Strong doesn't get the respect he deserves, he just might have to take it by force. Well, Rod Strong having to request TV time is certainly something. And well, it's safe to say that Messiah the Backbreaker is not liked how he's been treated here in ECW for the last couple weeks, 2nd week in a row where he's not booked in the matchup. But regardless, we gotta move on to the in-ring action, our 3rd match. And here it is. It was last week because of that woman right there, Scarpa Doe, that she distracted Cedric Alexander, costing him the matchup against Karrion Kross. Scarpa distracting Cedric, which led to Cedric getting choked out by the cross jacket, courtesy of that man right there, the sadistic Karrion Kross. And minutes after that matchup, Kross ran into Ashanti the Adonis backstage, and while Adonis, he called Kross out, saying he needed his wife's help to get that victory. Kross didn't really like, that statement really, attacking Ashanti the Adonis backstage, and that's how we got the match signed here by ECW GM Paulie Dangerously. So last week, Kross, to beat Cedric Alexander, trying to build himself back up after losing in that 4-way dance at Genesis. Kross, of course, lasting until the final 2, where it was him and Rhino. At the end of the day, of course, the Warmachine Rhino beat Kross, walked out with the ECW Championship. And so here we go. Kross looking to redeem himself and bounce back after that loss for the ECW title at the 4-way dance. Of course, last week picked up a victory over Cedric Alexander. Scarpa Doe, of course, did interfere in that matchup, distracting Cedric, which gave Kross the opening to lock on the cross jacket. Minutes after the matchup, Ashanti the Adonis confronted Kross backstage, saying how he needed Scarpa Doe's help for that win. Kross didn't really like that statement all that much, attacking Ashanti the Adonis backstage, and that is how this match has been signed for here tonight on ECW. And now Kross has Adonis, and Jesus, just 2 big-time elbow strikes to the back of the neck as Scarpa Doe watches on. Gotta think she's probably not too happy about the statement that Adonis made last week as well, saying that Kross, needed his wife's help. What a roundhouse! Shinsuke was looking for that all night. A couple minutes ago in the match against Ciampa. Kross now just gonna bang the knee in the center of the ring. And while shots to the Adonis, of course, the quicker competitor, but he's gonna have to break free and get away from Kross, like there. Had an opening, got the elbow, and the leaping Dolph Ziggler clothesline. And now here we go, neckbreaker, immediately rotates through. That was smooth, and only one. Nice neckbreaker, only a 1 count though. And now Scarlett here, and oh boy, here we go. We saw this last week, exactly what Adonis said, exactly what Adonis called out. Scarlett with a distraction, getting the attention of a shot to the Adonis, which gives the opening for Kross to take advantage. Exactly what happened last week to Cedric Alexander, and now Kross, similar last week, has the opening. Doomsday Saito, God! Adonis getting folded up like an accordion right there from the Doomsday Saito. And now Kross could potentially be calling for the end here. Clocks him, turns him around, and here we go. Has him locked in that coquina clutch that he caused the cross jacket, and got him. Adonis has to tap. There was a moment there, the back elbow and the leaping clothesline, where Adonis was looking for more of an opening to gain more momentum and hit some more moves, but well, Scarlett, though, she cut that off almost immediately, gave the opening for Kross to Doomsday Saito and the cross jacket. Well, it leads to a tap out, and for a second week in a row, Karrion Kross gets a victory here on ECW. Kross making quick work of a shot to the Adonis, similar to how he made quick work of Cedric Alexander last week. Kross building more momentum after that loss in the ECW Championship 4-way dance at Genesis a couple weeks ago. Ladies and gentlemen, the action continues when we come back. We are back here on ECW, and well, last week it was Andre Chase who got attacked by the Sandman for simply, in Chase's words, expressing his God-given right to free speech, which is why he will now hold a sit-in until, he's calling him Mr. Sandman, until Mr. Sandman comes down here and apologizes to him. Well, last week he came down and interrupted him. Well, is this gonna happen again? Oh, wait a minute. And well, that's not the Sandman, but it's a pair of ECW alumni similar to him. It's Bubba Ray and Devon, the Dudley Boys. Bubba Ray and Devon, I guess it's safe to say, they are back here on ECW. They've been signed exclusively. Another pair of new signings here to the land of Extreme. And Andre Chase, he has no luck here when it comes to ECW and ECW Legends. He got attacked by the Sandman last week. Of course, Sandman has sight sets on ECW Champion, the Warmachine Rhino. And well, if anything now, the Dudley Boys have their sights set on Andre Chase. 3D! The Dudley Death Drop planted down the resident teacher of Chase University. Andre Chase has been laid out by Bubba Ray and Devon. The Dudley Boys are back home. It is safe to say the Dudley Boys are back home in the land of Extreme in ECW, and Andre Chase got busted open from that 3D. Bubba Ray and Devon, those damn Dudleys, they're back and they are exclusive here to ECW. And well, we're backstage here. There's the Warmachine Rhino, the ECW Champion, getting ready for his title defense. And well, there's the Sandman. Sandman over the last couple of weeks has made his sights set. He wants Rhino and he wants the ECW Championship. No shortage of history between those two. Rhino getting ready for his upcoming main event title defense. And well, yep. Thank you, Hack. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back. From Hershey, Pennsylvania, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live in ECW, and it's now time for your main event of the night. The ECW Championship is on the line.
Rules match. It is for the ECW Heavyweight Championship.
Who is going to answer the open challenge? Oh, wait a minute. I can't believe it. A man with no shortage of history with the Warmachine Rhino. It's the instant classic. It's Christian Cage. What a nice prices we've had so far here tonight. The continued assault on Abyss, courtesy of the Sinister Mr. Father James Mitchell and Judas Mesias, followed by Team 3D, the Dudley Boys attacking Andre Chase. The Dudleys are back in ECW. And now the instant classic, Captain Charisma, Christian Cage is here in ECW. And he is immediately challenging for the ECW Championship. Yes, he had before. We count WWE ECW. Whether you like it or not, we count it. But I digress. Last week it was the Monster Abyss who answered the open challenge. This week it's the instant classic Christian Cage. Rhino so far has been a fine champion. He won the 4-way dance at Genesis a couple of weeks ago, held an open challenge against Abyss last week. This week holds it now, and the newest member of the ECW roster is Christian Cage. These two men, they've been friends, they've been foes before in the past, but never once have they gone one-on-one for the ECW Championship here in ECW. What more major signings could ECW GM Paul Lee Dangerously possibly make? We shall find out in the coming weeks, but now it's time for our ECW champion to make his way to the ring. Here comes the Warmachine. It was that man Rhino who won the 4-way dance against Karrion Kross, Donovan Dijak, and Tommaso Ciampa at Genesis a couple weeks ago. Retained the title last week against the Monster Abyss. Granted, it was thanks to the interference of Judas Mesias and James Mitchell. But regardless, he won. The gore, another gore, through the door, and then the Rhino driver was enough to put away the Monster Abyss. And so, similar to last week, no time to prepare for his mystery opponent. No time to prepare for Abyss. Last week, didn't know who it was going to be. And this week, another open challenge, no time to prepare for, his friend, Christian Cage. Of course, these two men know each other incredibly well. Countless matches with each other and against each other over the last 2 decades. So regardless, if Rhino had no time to really prepare and scout his opponent, he knows Christian awfully well. As a matter of fact, he knew Abyss awfully well as well last week. But if anything, not as well as he knows Christian Cage. So while Rhino's had 0 time to prepare, mentally prepare, and scout his competition, he knows Christian so well. These two men, they've been friends, they've been enemies before in the past. Countless matches over the last 2 decades. So maybe, just maybe, this is not a bad matchup for the ECW champion, the Warmachine Rhino. And so here we go for main event and title matches in general, 15 minutes. And this is both of them. This is both a title match and a main event match. So this match will get the 15-minute time limit. And so here we go. Main event here in ECW. The ECW Championship on line for 2nd week in a row. It's the instant classic against the Warmachine. And Christian starting things off already with that kick to the back after the snapmare. And Christian, John, first blood, sort of say. And so Rhino can answer back snapmare and a kick to the back of his own. Well, Rhino copying Christian, saying what you could do, I could potentially do better. Case in point right there with the snapmare followed by the kick. And Christian catches that right hand, chop to the chest. Of course, our match here in ECW, going by extreme rules, you don't need to use weapons. But if you do, you ain't gonna be disqualified or anything of the sort. And so, Rhino sending Christian into the corner. And just a shot right there. Another right hand to the ribs, kick to the gut, and on Rhino here, stomping the mud hole, Stone Cold style. Rhino, the ECW champion so far, been a fine champion, but can this title reign end still pretty early? Only his 2nd defense of that belt, 2nd open challenge in a week, a grueling match against Abyss last week. And now facing off against a man who knows him pretty well in Christian Cage. But regardless, Rhino here looking pretty damn good. Irish whip across the guardrail. Sam and Christian head first as well. And now Christian going up for a ride here. Rhino, gourd buster. Okay, I was getting ready for a traditional suplex, but no. Gourd buster by the Warmachine, planting Christian down into the very thin layer of padding on the outside. Only like 2 inches thick. It's not going to really help in terms of land-in and all. Stop sign drawn onto the back. I think he even clipped some of the back of Christian's head as well. And the Warmachine going to send the instant classic back inside the ring. And so far in the early stages, it's Rhino in control. Stop sign once again in the hands of the Warmachine, and was gonna clock Christian in the skull. And there we go, Christian doing the Rhino. What potentially was gonna happen to him a couple seconds ago. Christian got his hands up, Rhino did not. And Christian. Well, that was just Sabu-like, throwing the weapon at your opponent's face. Christian throwing the stop sign right to the skull of the Warmachine. And now Rhino here on the ring apron. Christian charges up, gets the shoulder block, and to the outside goes the Warmachine. Christian looking to become ECW champion once again. And now sizes up Rhino. Here we go. Leaping clothesline off the ring apron. The Instant Classic is in control. Ladies and gentlemen, the main event will continue when we come back. We are back here on ECW, and during the commercial break, it's remained all Christian Cage in control. There you see during the break, clocking Rhino on the skull with that stop sign, and while it didn't stop there, steel chair was brought into play, and Christian, he went into town on the Warmachine, case in point right there, using the weapons to his advantage here in this ECW Championship main event. And we're back here with the live action. Rhino charges up, misses the corner, and gets clocked in between the eyes, courtesy of the boots by Christian, and Bulldog as well to follow suit. Classic Christian Cage baiting Rhino to charge at him, ducks away from it, gets the kick, and only a 2 count. That was awfully close right there from that Bulldog. Dazing Rhino with those strikes, never mind, Rhino playing possum, gets the knee up. Not sure if that was the shoulder blade or the head of Christian, but regardless, that would knock him down. Ripcord right there, brings him back with that power slam. And now Rhino here, looking to get some semblance of control. All the commercial break throughout it, it was all Christian Cage in control, and now Rhino looking to gain some momentum back here. Has Christian, Christian able to flow through, get out of it, gets the Bulldog yet again. Getting out of the back suplex position, able to land on his feet, and now Christian in the corner, oh boy. Here we go, charge to him up, gets the spear. Ain't it funny how Christian's 2 best friends do spears? That's kinda ironic. Or just weird in general. And Rhino just bring him back down to reality, back down to earth. Christian wanted to go up to a high-ranked district, and he went up, but then he came crashing down with a horrible landing. And Rhino with the knee lift, catches him with the strike, and then the headbutt to follow suit. And now Rhino here sets him up just to bring him back down, the double axe handle right to the back. And now working on the joint, stomp to the elbow. ECW Championship is on the line here in tonight's main event. And Rhino, of course, wants to retain the ECW Championship. And big time shoulder block right there, bringing down Christian, gets the double axe handle to follow suit. Rhino maintaining all sorts of control here, just staying on the offense, going full court press here on the Instant Classic. Slowing it down, brother. Trying to just crack the neck of Christian, trying to pop it off like a bottle cap. And Rhino now calling Christian up to his feet. Christian is dazed, and just big time shot to the gut right there with the edge of the steel chair. And Rhino here, multiple shots with steel chair. We saw Christian do that during the commercial break. Oh god! Just a very awkward landing from the chair, from the edge of it, right to the stomach of Christian. And Rhino now has him gourd buster again, perhaps. No, this time traditional suplex. And Rhino, after using that chair, just crumbled it up into all sorts of different positions, really. Double A spine buster, Arn Anderson style, hence the name Double A, into a cover 2, and only 2. Damage has been done to Christian, but not enough to have him sufficiently weakened for a 3 count. And now Rhino going into the corner potentially. I thought he was going for the gore, but saw Christian getting back up too fast, and Rhino decides to call an audible. Christian, I think, perhaps sensed the gore too, and immediately got up to his feet, not to give Rhino enough time to be ordered to measure up that gore. And so, wait a minute, Christian playing possum, got hit with the military press to the gutbuster, doesn't matter, only 2 from the victory row. Christian able to pop that out of nowhere, gets the leap and back elbow. Perfect connection on the ECW champion, the Warmachine. And now, gets that double sledge, yet again, taking down Rhino, ducks the line, off the ropes, here we go, leaping lariat. And Rhino has now been cornered here. The Instant Classic has him right where he wants him. And here we go. Vintage Christian Cage. The leaping, twisting, reverse layout DDT. Into cover 2. And no, not fully reverse DDT. That would be a Scorpion Death Drop. But laying that with that reverse DDT from the corner. And now Christian here. Shot to the chest. Maintaining control here. Gets the drop kick as well. Popping that one out of nowhere. Keeping Rhino on his toes, or in this case on his back. Gets the mounted punches and a stomp to the gut for extra measure, for extra good measure. Sizes up the ECW champion. The Warmachine is in trouble. And now, I think he was potentially going for the unprettier. Rhino sensed it, gets the clothesline, as he's able to fight out of it, and now stopping the mud hole yet again. Rhino sensing the unprettier coming. And now off the ropes goes Christian. Rhino, I think he was going for Sherlock, didn't get all of it. Missed the clothesline, and Christian able to evade the second clothesline as well. That's how well these two men know each other. They know each other inside and out, able to evade these charge maneuvers just like that. But Rhino able to get that second Sherlock attempt, gets the headbutt as well. And Christian's been knocked down, and oh boy, that's a bad position for the Instant Classic to be in, because now the War Machine is measuring his man. Rhino looking to end it, and potentially here we go. Nails it. Gore, gore, gore. Got him. Into a cover. That's it. That's it. Rhino to retain. No, only 2. He sliced him in half with the gore. Only 2, and Rhino pleading the official. He can't believe it. Pulled off his best maneuver, and the Instant Classic is still alive and kicking. And now to the outside goes Christian. Just nasty landing for Christian right there. Again, dumped like a sack of rocks. Rhino can't believe it. He hit him with the gore. Wasn't good enough. Strong Irish whip into the barricade. Christian so far has not been able to hit the unprettier. It was attempted earlier, but Rhino was able to sense it and ultimately evade it. No, planted Christian head first, or planted face first, into a ring apron. We saw Abyss do that at Dominik Mysterio earlier on in our opening contest. And Christian in a bad way here. You know, granted, he kicked out the gore, but he's definitely got to still be feeling the effects of that dreadful gore. And now, look, Christian here, plants with a DT. Kick the gut followed by a immediate DT. Rhino Scarf being driven down into the canvas. Here we go, only 2. Only 2. Rhino still alive in our main event here for the ECW Championship. And now Christian here, setting up his man, sizes him up, gets him with that clothesline over the top rope. And now Christian to a high rent district, sizing up Rhino, calling up a dazed Rhino up to his feet. What could he possibly be looking for here? And oh, Jesus, what? Okay. Missile dropkick. Well, Christian usually from the top rope, he goes for that weird looking splash where he puts all his, his arms and his legs behind it. You know the splash I'm talking about. Or that weird cross spike he does. And that was not it. That was a missile dropkick. I'm pretty sure Rhino did not see that coming either. And oh, misses a traditional crossbody. Rhino able to evade that one. And now Rhino here. Stand with the offense short arm layer right there onto the Instant Classic. And now, just a right hand. Right into the gut. Here we go. Rhino driver! Out of nowhere. Punch to the gut. Leads to a Rhino driver. Spikes him. And only 2. Some way, somehow, the gore and then the Rhino driver has not been it. And oh wait, inside cradle, the small package, got him, 2, and no. And some way, somehow, the Rhino driver and before that the gore, Rhino's 2 best maneuvers has not been enough to put away the Instant Classic. And Christian after the inside cradle only gets him a 2 count, has Rhino up with the powerbomb, God. The back of the head and the upper back of Rhino landing right on that steel chair. Of course, that steel chair introduced by Christian during the commercial break, used to even greater effect by the War Machine a couple minutes ago in this contest. Completely forgot about it until, well, Christian was able to hit the powerbomb. And well, speaking of powerbombs, Rhino perhaps looking for one of his own now, and plants him. Christian does a powerbomb on Rhino answering back with one of his own. And so Rhino now setting up that table in the corner. We saw this last week when he set a door of all things in the corner. And ultimately, he put the Monster Abyss through the door in the corner with the gore. That rhymes. But whatever, and now Christian, oh boy, he's not looking too good here. Rhino setting him up. He has him in his sights. Gore through the table. Planted him. Gore, gore, gore. The War Machine. God, what the hell? Who the... Wait, that's Jeff Jarrett. The hell is he doing here? That's the king of the mountain, Jeff Jarrett stroke. He had the stroke on Christian. He had the stroke on Christian Cage. And now he has Rhino up, and he has the stroke, and the referee's calling for the bell. And well, I'm sad to inform everyone that this match has now been called off. The referee has ruled this an official no contest. This is not a disqualification, but Jarrett hitting Rhino across the back with the guitar, hitting Christian with a stroke, and now hitting Rhino with another stroke. The King of the Mountain ruining what was a great ECW Championship main event. The Instant Classic has been left laying, and now Rhino, after 2 strokes and a guitar shot, has also been thrown out the ring. He is unconscious. What the hell is Jeff Jarrett doing here? The King of the Mountain involved himself in business that doesn't concern him, going to the Timekeeper's area now. Christian has been laid out. And so has the Warmachine Rhino. And Jarrett in the ring. He has Rhino's ECW Championship. That doesn't belong to him. An incredible back and forth contest between the Instant Classic and the Warmachine for the ECW Championship has just ended in pure chaos, thanks to that man Jeff Jarrett. The King of the Mountain invading ECW and now parading around with the ECW Championship like he owns it. Jeff Jarrett is here in ECW. Has the land of Extreme become Planet Jarrett?